Let's get right to the point here. Is it? Archbishop, as you heard, they're going to run into Girl Scout cookies. Sorry, I'm preaching a sermon right now. I'm trying to save souls. Don't you care about people not going to hell? Another disturbance. Probably sent by Satan and his Witchcraft club. Speaking of the topic we'll be on today, right now, there's a man from the past teaching by Derek Prince. Let's see what he has to say. The thing is, I want to show you. Watch yourself. Watch yourself. This man seems to me to be into witchcraft, though it's Christian witchcraft. He's collecting.
Palm reading, by teacup reading.
Let's see how he explains. He's going to explain witchcraft. Now pay attention. Derek Prince.
There are three main words that are commonly used in the English language to speak about the various aspects of satanic power. They are witchcraft, divination, and sorcery.
Sorcery?
Divination is essentially the fortune-telling realm. It operates by revelation, by gazing into a crystal ball, by dreams, by palm reading, by teacup reading, by tarot cards, and many, many other ways. That all is classified.
It's all in here, buddy. It's all in here.
Divination. Then there is sorcery. Sorcery operates through objects or through something which produces a physical impact or result.
There's an object on every page here. Is an object.
Through charms, through amulets, through bracelets. Many times people are enslaved because
fetishes,
some kind of a ring,
charms, and bracelets, or rings, or other,
which is satanic in its origin.
Other
Sometimes
objects.
they're not aware of that.
They're not aware of it. Okay, let's see.
Let me illustrate this by a little example.
Let me illustrate this right now. Be quiet. Sir Prince, you're getting ahead of the sermon here. Now, could have Moses had a fetish? Because when he went through these blood sacrifices in Leviticus, he actually gave the men baths, Aaron and his sons, so that they could, he told them this is what God wanted, and they could become priests. And he put on them curious, very curious girdles and bonnets. So curious that they might have been so curious to have sex appeal. Yes, Moses brought Aaron's sons and put coats upon them and girded them with girdles, the curious kind, and put bonnets on them, as the Lord commanded Moses. Did the Lord really command Moses, or was Moses using witchcraft? Because it would deviate their minds from the trueness of their selves that is already created or instilled in them. So let's continue. And the priests began their ministry from the very beginning with witchcraft. Blood, guilt, cult sacrifices. No. So that I'm trying to help the Christians out. The blood, guilt, cult sacrifices that they killed animals for was not about rescuing them from hell. They believed that when God watched them torture animals, kill and torture specific kinds of animals and have them arranged on an altar where blood was thrown onto by special splashers. They just shook the blood, shakers. They called it sprinkling, but it was shaking. And they shook blood on a burning flames that were on even the head of the animals, put on there, facing a certain direction, because they believed, because Moses said, God told them, that this is a sweet-smelling savor unto the Lord. And you want your good crops. You want rain next year, don't you? You want good offspring, don't you? You want the good offspring. And you want to get the land from your enemies. You don't want them to take your land. So God wants to watch you kill these animals for him so that you'll be blessed. Sounds like Kevin Copeland and Benny Sin Ministries to me. as it's modern day Moses in disguise right before your very eyes in every kind of way. You see, the real thing is there's witchcraft all over the place. It's how your mind gets manipulated. It's religion and politics. So it's up to you to see the tricks. And that's what the Archbishop is here for, to, let's see what's, let's see. You got to watch out for those curious girdles. When they want you to wear, put on things, or take certain medicines, you have to think about why they want you to take so much of this medicine, wear certain types of girdles and bonnets. This one here just happens to be because I like it. Nobody forced me to wear it. It only costs $1 too. The dangers of coming under the influence of witchcraft is not reading this properly. This is a witchcraft book. Yes, you can see all the witchcraft done in Leviticus by Moses so that he could enslave the minds of the people to do his bidding on other countries and other kings, which had their forms of witchcraft also. But we're talking about this now because this is where most of us came from. The candy-coated blood guilt cult. Let's listen to him a little bit further, and then we're not going to take too much longer because...
Let me illustrate this by a little example.
The Lord guide us.
In Miami, in a hotel about 2 years ago, a friend of mine was ministering to people, as I have been doing this morning, finding out if their legs were unequal, and by the power of God causing them to grow out. And there was a young man who came forward whose legs were manifestly unequal. But when the
Stop right there.
man who was ministering held them up, the short leg did not grow. It would not budge. So the man ministering noticed that this young man had a bracelet on his ankle.
Oh, must have been a satanic witchcraft
And,
bracelet. That's why the leg wouldn't grow back right.
Where did you get that bracelet from?
Satan.
He said, my girlfriend gave it to me.
Oh, was she practicing witchcraft?
He said, are there any particular associations with that bracelet? Does it mean anything special to you? He said, no, not really. He said, did it mean anything special to your girlfriend? He said, I wouldn't know. He said, would it in any way represent rebellion on the part of your girlfriend? He said, it might do. So the man answering said, would you be willing to take the bracelet
Take it off and your legs will grow evenly.
The young man took the bracelet off, and the moment he did, without further prayer,
His legs
his
became
leg
even.
grew.
Look at that.
You see, that was a way that Satan was binding him with power through this object. The man ministering, girlfriend gave it to me. He said, are there any particular associations with that bracelet? Does it mean anything special to you? And he said, no, not really. He said, did it mean anything special to your girlfriend? He said, I wouldn't know. He said, would it in any way represent rebellion on the part of your girlfriend? He said, it might do. So the man ministering said, would you be willing to take the bracelet off? The young man took the bracelet off, and the moment he did, without further prayer, his leg grew out.
His leg grew after...
A way that Satan was binding him with power through this object.
Come on, man.
Witchcraft essentially is the dominating satanic force. It's the force that captivates, that dominates.
So, the people think they've given their life over to Jesus. You see, you've given your life over to be dominated by something you don't understand. That's witchcraft. And you can't even agree on what it all means because you're divided up into denominations. Same thing. Bunch of demons and organizations, denominations. So the Archbishop wants you Christians to know where the religion starts in the blood sacrifices here. And it's not saying anything about Jesus. It's not rescuing from hell. They believe that God would enjoyed watching and smelling the burnt flesh while they dressed in fancy, curious girdles and bonnets. And the people in the congregation, they gathered around and watched these priests in curious girdles and bonnets perform these sacrifices, told that they're doing it for us, God's going to be pleased. And they had to watch, and they had to, enjoy the show and praise and everything that Moses said, or they'd be put to death. So, yeah, witchcraft is right in front of your face. May the pickle jars of indoctrination be broken. The Archbishop has spoken. Read. Without any man, person, woman, he, she, they telling you what this is supposed to mean. And the Holy Scriptures, that they made a script for you to follow and put the word spells on you. The Holy Scriptures, if read properly, will fall apart all by themselves. Oh, peek at the curious girdle the bishop is wearing. It's very hot in here. I have to remove the shirt soon.